Prophet Haggai. Haggai, whose name means feast or festive, may have been born during one of the Jewish festival holidays. The book of Haggai is among the shortest in the Old Testament, with only Obadiah being shorter. In 520 BC, Haggai delivered his 4 prophetic messages 16 years after the first Jewish exiles returned from Babylonian captivity. Interestingly, no other Old Testament book is as precisely dated as Haggai. He provides exact dates for each of his messages, specifying the very month and day they were delivered. Haggai directed his writings to the exiles from Judah who had returned to Jerusalem to rebuild the Lord's temple. Around 50,000 exiles responded to King Cyrus's proclamation of liberation, with the first group arriving in Judah around 538 BC. However, the rebuilding of the temple had not been completed, so Haggai, the prophet, was sent by God to deliver a message to Zerubbabel, the governor of Judah, and Joshua, the high priest, urging them to resume and complete the task of rebuilding the temple. The governor, possibly seeking more clarity on King Cyrus's decree, requested that King Darius search the archives for the original proclamation. According to the decree, King Cyrus ordered that the royal treasury cover the temple's rebuilding costs, and that the gold and silver furnishings taken by the Babylonians be returned and placed back in the temple. However, more often than not, God feels distant because we have neglected His word or disobeyed Him somehow. Or perhaps we have become distracted, focusing on other things. We allow less essential tasks and responsibilities to replace what should be most important. We let God and His work take a back seat to our pursuits. We let other relationships interfere with our relationship with God. We work diligently for our well-being, but neglect others and the work of the Lord. We strive more to bring recognition and honor to ourselves than to the Lord. We look forward to new goals while failing to complete what the Lord has already asked us to do. This was the situation with Israel. God had called a remnant of His people out of Babylon, where they had been exiled and scattered, back to their homeland to rebuild their nation. He gave them specific instructions about what to build first. Initially, the people obeyed and began work on the temple, as commanded. However, they abandoned their primary purpose and most important task over time. They began to neglect the work on the temple, to pursue their interests, becoming distracted and self-absorbed. When Haggai appeared on the scene, more than 16 years had passed. Nearly 2 decades passed, and the returned exiles still had not completed the task the Lord had assigned them. At this point, the Lord began speaking through His servant Haggai, delivering 4 critical messages to urge the people to stop procrastinating and making excuses.